The old firm fallout continues, and we're here to react to some even more comments on Michael Beale, whether or not he must resign or not. Because I made a vid on it yesterday. A lot of people, right? I've talked about this previously. Beale, there's been a lot of people who've doubted Beale, but that old firm has completely and utterly turned the tide. I would say it's about 90% Beale out. Now, I was listening to Super Scoreboard yesterday, and even if you're not Beale out, the overwhelming majority is like they've lost all faith in him, and that goes for Super Scoreboard fans in general. I mean, people on YouTube as well. You listen to like podcasts or people like CJ Noble, for example, even him yesterday, and a lot of people have turned on Beale, and I think it's definitely within reason. I mean, I want Beale to succeed. Everyone wants Beale to succeed, right? But I just can't follow it blindly, and I think there is a lot of happy clappers that will, and if you want to just back Beale to the fucking moon, that's fair enough, right? Even though I think it's completely and utterly ridiculous that you would, because we're not seeing anything to suggest that. But anyway, everybody's got an opinion, and let's see what opinions were shed on this video yesterday. Because, I could go through all these comments, right, and reply to them single-handedly. One, it would take a lot more than this would, and two, I feel like it's better actually addressing it like this. So leave it down below if you like this concept. But anyway, I've done it before on other channels. But Bobby Finlay says, should have been 2-2. I'll give it a wee heart, because when I give it a wee heart, it means it won't appear as it won't appear in that I haven't responded thing. So Bobby Finlay, Souness wanted to come and help. He saw it was coming, but Beale didn't want him. He knows more than Beale. True Rangers men need it. Yeah, I don't really understand why Souness wasn't welcomed back, but I mean, it must have been Beale. Bobby Finlay again, fuck, he's loving the comments here. If Beale kept his nose out the job for Souness when he wouldn't be in this state, if not sacking him, we need Souness or Ali or McAllister to help him. We need someone, right, that just, Beale is out, and I think everyone that thought, he was the mastermind behind Gerrard is, it's been dealt a wee slice of humble pie, man, because really, really not. Martin Cosgrove says, Celtic were garbage, to be fair, but we still won with half a team. The difference is Brendan Rodgers, simple, really. And you know what, let's be real, a lot of people, I mean, Halliday yesterday on Super Scoreboard saying that he's a good coach, and I'm not saying Beale ain't, he can coach players, like I think that would be evident, because he's been regarded as that throughout his, coaching career, wherever he's been, whether it be Brazil, Chelsea, right? Chelsea, or whatever. But he's just not a manager for me. Derek Ross says, if you want him to go, who would you bring in? Sorry, who would I bring in? Well, I think there's a fid for that, right? But I'll talk about a few. I mean, you look at, I look at, I was going to say Lincoln Potter. Sons of Anarchy character. Sons of Anarchy character. But what's his name? Oh my god, Graham Potter. Right. I know there is a lot of talk about here. Would he take Rangers? I mean, he's just had a massive payout for Chelsea. He could probably walk into any sort of Saudi Arabia job and get even more money. But for me, it would rebuild his it's not his legacy. It would rebuild his reputation. The only thing is, like, Rodgers did come up to Celtic the first time. You could say it was to rebuild his reputation, but he's a Celtic fan. Potter's really got no connection. I mean, like, look at Gerrard. I mean, I was surprised Gerrard took the job initially, but looking back, I'm not. But it's not like Gerrard, managed Villa and then came into Rangers. I just feel like once you've been a manager in the Premier League, you're going to stick around the Premier League. Here, I would take Potter. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I would bring Potter in. He's a good coach, right? But I think it is a wee bit unrealistic to hope for him. I think that's just a sad state of affairs because there's just no money. We cannot offer anywhere near the same amount of money that a Premier League club can offer. And for any other managers, I mean, I think there's got to be, less snobbery. A lot of people have said this, that you look at Nisbet, Van Veen, Shankland, yes, they're not managers, but let me get them a point. A lot of people just write those players off, right? Write those players off as if, well, they're all shite and they're not good enough. I think the same can go for the managers, because let's be real, right? I'm not saying, remember Derek McInnes, he stayed in Aberdeen, he could have came to Rangers. Would Derek McInnes really be doing a worse job with this Rangers team than Michael Beale? I get it, right? It's not the glamour choice, but sometimes you don't need the glamour choice. Like, go left field, like Beale, I don't know, like, just try something, Rangers, man. Honestly, like, you look, there is good options. Like, would Davy Martindale do a worse job than Beale? And that's not me saying here we need to pin our hopes. We need to get rid of Beale and bring in Martindale. But questions have got to be asked about who would do a worse job than Beale right now. Honestly, like, because you look at like all these teams that have just like Martindale and Kelly, for example. When we play them, they're well-oiled machines. When was the last time Rangers looked like a well-oiled machine, man? We're just a bunch of, individuals that sometimes plump together and get a result. That's just the reality. Like, Beale, it's been a while since I've seen a game plan, if that. Anyway, Andy says, Tab and Goldson go off glory hunting, leave their positions, everyone covering their asses. Right. Stevie 12 says, if that's a foul, the whistle would blow every 2 minutes. Corruption, we Celtic and VAR room, we all know it. He's still, bagging on about that. I think within reason. I see sometimes my pronunciation. Sometimes I'd nail this word, and sometimes I'd butcher this word. And I'm not even going to attempt it. See, once you botch it once, you just get in a rhythm of constantly botching it. But you know what, right? We all know, anally. Woo! Anyway, moving on. I'm not afraid to announce I can't pronounce some words. I'm a Mongo. Anyway, God bless Celtic if that's not getting a heart from me. Right. So this guy. How can you say a league is over after 4 games? It's totally embarrassing statement to make, no matter how angry you are. Do you actually watch football? Totally unpredictable sport. Anything can happen. You have a squad full of talent. Get a grip, man. Right. So let's be real. Let's be real. The league is obviously not over because it's mathematically still possible, right? But Celtic were at their worst at Ibrox, and we just fucking lay down, sat off them. Beale is not. I have no faith in Beale, right? There it is. And the strikers, our team has regressed since last season, right? Our team's got worse, and Beale has appeared to get worse, right? For me, you look at Celtic, right? Celtic, loads of injuries at the minute, and we still couldn't capitalise. The gap is 4 points. Let's be real, right? See, between now and the next Old Firm, is that gap going to get smaller? I can only see it getting bigger with the current way that we're playing. And that's not me saying Celtic aren't going to drop points, because I think Celtic will drop quite a lot of points this season. But so are we. We're going to drop a lot of points this season as well, the way we're playing. Can't really score sometimes. Not clinical, and fucking we're conceding goals every game. So how is that unfair to say that the league is over? Because Celtic are going to get way better than what they are right now when they get, full strength team. We pretty much had a full strength team apart from Barisic, but most people would rather Sterling start with Barisic. So for me, the league is done. I know it's 4 games and a lot can happen, but realistically, I don't see things getting better. I think this league to still be on, Beale's got to go. Beale has got to go right here, right now. There you have it. Keith Hamilton says 72% Beale out, 11% undecided, 17% he stays. So he must go, damn it. I agree. Robotruck says you're definitely not bitter, mate, but we all can't help being a bit biased when it comes to our teams. Is that reference to the Dessers incident with Lager Bielka? It could be, but I'm not bitter, man. I'll say how it is. Right. James Tony says Celtic were not even good yesterday, which says a lot. I agree with that. Davy Martindale and Kevin Muscat. A lot of links to Kevin Muscat. I wouldn't mind them, but I think Potter would be the option that everyone's really talking about. Davy Martindale getting a wee mention as well. Gary says he should have been sacked at the end of last season when we won fuck all, but the Beale fanboys were, he needs time to gel. Just piss off with that gel crap. Tavernier's a mental weakling, been saying it for years. We won't qualify from that Europa group. And that's another problem, right? I just don't see Europa going well. I think we will be in Europe past Christmas, but I think it's genuinely going to be the Conference League. And not exactly ideal, that is it, if we're being brutally honest. Billy McMorris says Celtic only won because of a referee decision. We need to keep that in mind when viewing this match. Rangers certainly did not deserve to lose that game. Big Jock News says doesn't change the fact that we are terrible. Yep, Celtic weren't any better. The referee's given the result to Celtic, and now they are points advantage they do not deserve. Rangers had more possession, more shots. They even had a perfectly good goal ruled out and penalty claim. Overlooked, right? Come on, Billy. I mean, that sounding like a fucking Celtic fan there. I mean, we were shite, honestly. I know we can say that we had a perfectly good goal ruled out, right? And it's a valid claim to make, but I hate that excuse. I do. Like, see as much as the goal should have stood, and for me, it's one of the worst decisions I've ever seen, and therefore, but I don't want to use it as an excuse because it's not fucking good enough. It's not. We should have been putting way more pressure on them what we did. It's a fucking. It is a joke that happened. That honestly happened in that game, that we just offered nothing. Apart from that Sam Lammers open net miss, we did nothing. Apart from the other two goals that were disallowed, obviously, one rightfully. I don't want to use that as an excuse, that goal. I don't. Because see, at the end of the day, the game goes at 0-0 and Suter fucking falls asleep and then plays Kyogo on. So, like, let's be real. When that goal got disallowed, we had 68 minutes, probably about 70 minutes, including half time as well, including added on time. We had 70 minutes to muster a goal, and we didn't. So I can't use that as an excuse. And even if that goal counts, you try to. Who can confidently say if that goal counts, we win that game? I get it. We go 1-0 up. The crowd's buzzing, right? Atmosphere, maybe Scales and Lagerbielke bottle things a bit more. But it's all ifs, buts, maybes. At the end, we're fucking shite. And we can't change fucking anything, man. Anyway, user says, how can you say that? There was still most of the game to play. True. Joshua Elder says, a draw's not good enough. Anyway, plus Celtic were playing like their 4th and 5th choice defenders, and Rangers couldn't score or even really test hard. So no way did we deserve to win. Oh god, there is a lot of comments here, and I'm loving it. The title could end up being decided on 1 or 2 points. That result yesterday could end up being vital to the title race. We don't know yet. The referee decided the outcome of that game yesterday, not the players. Even on Sky Sports today, the referees from England looked at the roof goal and had no idea why it didn't stand. The referee decided the outcome of the game. Rangers should be writing a letter to the SFA for clarification right now. See, as much as I get that, right, they did cost us a goal, because they did, right, that's the way I view it. There is 34 games to go. We are 4 points behind, right? We had a lot of that game to rectify the officials' mistake. We didn't. We had a lot of that game to rectify our own mistake at the back. So the league is in our hands, but we can't talk about, at the end of the season. No, fuck the decision against this, man. We just need to, I don't know, because I'm talking about Beale I need Beale to be it, and I can't exactly big up and be like, there's 34 games to go, we're going to get the job done, because I don't think we are. I think the league is done. I don't want to sound defeatist, but I'm a fucking realist. You can tell more or less every game by the first Old Firm who's going to win the league for me, with the exception of Ange's first year. But then I did say during that review that we've won 1-0, if you remember the Hollander goal, but we looked jaded and didn't look that. We weren't that good in that game. And you know what? And I said when Celtic won 3-0 in February, that's us lost the league. And I was right. I said it when Celtic won 2-0 at Ibrox about, I think it was 4 years ago, the 1920 season. Johnny Hayes got the goal and John Jones got sent off. I said in that game, the league's over. Again, in September, very early. But for me, the first Old Firm sets a precedent, right? And for me, I've lost total faith in Beale, man. I really have. Billy McMorrin says, I can say that because Rangers had a perfectly good goal chopped off. I don't care how long is left to play. That goal put Rangers ahead and completely changes the game. It does change the game, right? I don't think anyone's actually denying that. But it's just not acceptable to, not score against that Celtic back line. Like, if we drew that game 1-1, right? And then you could be like, oh, well, it did fuck us out of 3 points, but then you can argue the same right now, but like, well, it fucked us out a draw and it made them get 3 and us done. For me, it's if buts, maybes, man. Like, the players, I'm actually glad that the players aren't using that goal, or Beale's really using that goal as an excuse. Now, what I would have liked to see at the time of that goal, about a bit of fucking passion. Beale just sits there. There's no passion. Seeing that goal get this, I was going fucking ballistic. The guy, Tav, Beale, there's just not one bit of passion about them, right? And I think it goes beyond post-match and pre-match fucking press conferences. Like, you listen and you listen to them, right? And it's like they're being held hostage and they're having to read out a statement. That is what it's like listening to them, man. Billy McMorrin again, Rangers would have been 1-0 ahead and rightfully so. It would have completely changed the game. I can't believe people are actually trying to tell me it's okay for a referee to chop off a perfectly good goal because you might get another one. Really, that's not what people are saying. It's more, or maybe the guy above this says that, but in my personal opinion, the goal is a disgrace and it should stand, but it doesn't give us the excuse not to go and fucking score more goals, is my point. Michael Charon says that the outcome might have been different if the goal stood as a possibility, but not necessarily so. But it didn't stand. What can't be denied is our performance, management team and players was dire. That was a home game. The circumstances were all in our favour. We never looked like winning. Rookie manager versus experienced manager with more resources. Rodgers will chew Beale up. I think that's pretty much it. Audrey Hall says, Beale out, no question. Scotty Mack says, in rules, it's a foul. Yes, very weak foul. I'm a Celtic fan and it was against us. I'd be saying the same. It's not a foul. It's not just Scottish football, it's getting poor with ref calls. I'll give that a wee heart too. You know what, right? But like Neil McCann said in Sports Scene, the fucking rule book needs ripped up. See this whole impeding thing? It is fucking ridiculous that we've got a situation where if Dessers goes down, Rangers get a free kick. But he actually he doesn't dive, he continues on his way and we get a goal disallowed. What? How the fuck is that a thing? We've seen against Servette, Todd Cantwell got himself in front of the Servette player, and the Servette player booed at Cantwell, and we got a penalty. So what's the difference? Is one wrong and one's right? No, because it has to be that. Well, that's what the case is. But surely that means one decision's wrong. And we've seen, how many times have you seen in football, man, where an attacker gets in front of a defender as the defender swinging for the ball and he boots the attacker here. And the attacker doesn't even need to get the ball. He just gets booted and they give a penalty. It's a fucking joke. It is actually a joke. I can't believe this. Fuck, the rules are wrong. They make the rules up as they go along, for fuck's sake. But, at least, fair play, Scotty Mac, he's a Celtic fan, but he is saying if it was for them, he'd be saying the same things. And you know what? See if the exact same thing happened to Celtic, right? And Kyogo pickpockets the ball off Suter and he squares it to Maida and Maida taps it in and it gets disallowed. I'd be saying the same thing. I'd be saying it's a disgrace's decision now. Would I be happy Rangers benefited and won? Yes, but it wouldn't change the fact that it's a fucking joke. People need to you need to put the rivalry aside and realise that the fucking refereeing is a mess. Anyway, Andrew Taggart says, no mate, Sakala kicked Starfelt and you've got a penalty, so get a grip. Your team's piss poor, 13 games this season, 6 wins, 6 defeats and a draw. Great form that. Wait, what? 13 games this season? How many games have Rangers played this season? Oh, yeah, including pre-seasons, that probably is. Right, see that Sakala one? See that, what? I need to go rewatch that Sakala penalty, because in me, he's cut back and Starfelt's trailing leg has caught Sakala. That is what I remember of it, right? So, we'll have to wait and see. I'll probably react to that at a different time. Big Stevie says... No, he's referring to me. Big Steve. My honest opinion is, firstly, we need to set up an 11 that's concrete. There's players in our squad that can compete and win this league. Mr. Rangers himself, Captain Caveman, needs offload it to the bench. He's milked the Mr. Rangers for years and been allowed in his goals. Never won his fuck at all, and his blunder certainly cost us. And replace the armband to someone like Roof. Stop punting balls and playing attacking fast through the middle football. What the stats on goals with crosses? New set up, solid 11, which is constant rip off Captain Caveman and hapless Beale immediately. I agree with that. Man. Temanen says, and get in who? Kevin Thompson, Ferguson, Martindale, just accept this is as good as you get. The three of them. How's it as good as we get? How is Michael Beale as good as a Rangers manager as we get? I refuse to believe that, man. It'd be like saying Neil Lennon is the best that Celtic could have got. It's not. Super Andy says, let's be honest, you wouldn't let a milkman fly a jumbo jet, and if you did, and he crashed, not his fault, really. Obviously talking about Beale, and you know what? I agree. Orville says he should have started building the team from the back to front. Instead, he keeps the same two duds at the back. Tab and Goldson need to go. All experienced managers build from the back. Yeah, you know what? As Alex Ferguson said, defence wins you the title, attack wins you games. And that's never more true than ever. I mean, look at the amount of money that we've spent and players that we've brought in. And all we've brought in is one centre-back and Leon Balogun. And let's be real, Balogun getting brought in is pretty much no one. It's pretty much not even a signing because all it pretty much means is he spent a loan at. That is pretty much all it is. He spent a year on loan at QPR. That is pretty much what it is. Honestly. No, not remember though. A couple of seasons ago, actually splashing the money on Hollander. Now, obviously, Hollander ended in injuries, but not a good signing. Katic, that was a good sign at the time. Suter, like last season, albeit Suter, I know, right, made a mistake for the goal, been pretty shit this season, but the last number of seasons, there has been, decent centre-back signings from Rangers' point of view. Like last season, we signed Ben Davies, like he's shit, but at least they're going out. Why this season? When you clearly see with problems at the back, we don't go out and buy a defender. Cheap, man. But what to do? Let's buy fucking 7 strikers and play them in the narrowest formation, don't they, man? Honestly. Kevin Robb says, interesting, Rangers won the league when there were no fans allowed due to COVID. As for Sakala, he missed as many Glennon chances against Celtic. He did, but you know what? Sakala, even though he misses chances, he fucking creates things, man. Honestly, if Sakala was against that back four yesterday, he would have been creating chances left, right, and centre. I'm not saying he would have scored a hat trick, but he would have been. Drew Scott says, we're stinking. No idea who to get in, as I don't even think Harry Potter could magic us into a team of winners. Beale should have been sacked last night. He's a chancer. He can bugger off back to London. Billy Big Boss says, time to go, but who's the answer to bring in? Probably Knutson, Potter, or even Steve Clark, who I don't think would be interested. Not Steve Clark, as he's a septic supporter. I tell you what, right? Steve Clark, obviously, I don't think he would ever take the Rangers job. But let's just say in an ideal world, for some reason he supports Rangers and he would. If he wouldn't take Steve Clark, you're delusional. See what he did at Kelly, man. Beating Brendan Rodgers' Celtic over a calendar year with a Kelly team. And what he's doing with Scotland at the minute, getting us to tournaments. If you wouldn't take Steve Clark, man, again, what I pointed to earlier, it's snobbery, man. I think we need to... imagine if we signed the likes of Van Feen and Shanklin, Lewis Ferguson, Doidge, fucking Hickey, for example. All these players that have been able to leave the league. Honestly. What's going on? Bobby Finlay says, someone with years of managing McInnes and another ex-Rangers manager. Rangers men has to be, that's Beale's problem. And with 3 comments left, it's been a long video. The Morton game pissed me off. Lucky to get that 2-on-1. Having goals can go as well. Wolverine says yes. And Ronnie O'Rourke says, aye, his tactics are no use. I agree with that. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. We've talked about a lot of stuff in it. You guys have reacted. We'll be back very soon again. But until next time, peace.